off. Traveling could be quite a challenge at this point. At the Ninoy Aquino International Airport, there's a steady stream of passengers in Terminal 3. This is congesting both arrival and departure areas. Travelers are advised to check in online or be at the NAIA a few hours before their flights. That's to avoid long lines at check-in counters. 2 separate inspections are being done in the terminal. Large crowds are also being observed at the Parañaque Integrated Terminal Exchange. In fact, PITX said the number of passengers yesterday reached about 130,000. Most trips are now also fully booked for December 26 to 29, especially for air-conditioned buses going to Bicol. Meanwhile, many passengers opted to stay overnight at the Northport Passenger Terminal after their trips got delayed yesterday. The reason? Bad weather. Their trips have been rescheduled later tonight. The Northport management is reminding passengers not to bring banned items like sharp objects to avoid any inconvenience upon inspection. Moving on to another story, President Bongbong Marcos said his government is undeterred over issues in the West Philippine Sea. Here's what he said during the AFP's anniversary yesterday.
We shall continue to assert our rights in accordance with the Philippine Constitution and international law. The recent incidents involving no less than our AFP Chief of Staff is worrisome. Yes, but it is a proud demonstration of Filipino courage against coercion and our firm resolve to protect, preserve, and uphold our territorial integrity. I know that our soldiers and our troops espouse the same values and principles, and they remain undeterred by actions that stir tension.
The president's statement is on the heels of a phone call between Foreign Affairs Secretary Enrique Manalo and his Chinese counterpart Wang Yi. It's believed to be their first dialogue since the water cannon incident and collision in Ayungin Shoal on December 10. Secretary Manalo said it was a frank and candid exchange that ended with a clear understanding of each country's position on a number of issues. But Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi was more somber. A part of his lengthy statement said that Beijing and Manila's relationship now stands at a crossroads. He also reminded the Philippines to act with caution. We now give you a quick look at today's global headlines. A United Nations Security Council vote has been delayed, which aims to boost aid to Gaza Strip. The Security Council has agreed to continue negotiations to allow for additional time for diplomacy. The resolution aims to dilute Israel's control over all humanitarian aid deliveries in Gaza. The war between Israel and Hamas has so far killed about 20,000 people. Pope Francis is warning against inflexible ideologies after approving a ruling on blessing same-sex couples. While the pontiff's recent declaration was welcomed by many, conservatives believe it could shake the foundations of the Catholic faith. But the Pope has this caution about rigid ideological positions that come under the guise of good intentions. He said these may hinder the Church from seeing reality and moving forward. The Pope has long been trying to make the Church more welcoming to people who feel excluded, including the LGBTQIA+ community. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences unveils its short list of 10 Oscar categories. Prominently represented in many categories are Greta Gerwig's Barbie, Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer, and Martin Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon. Original song contenders include 3 entries from Barbie. Philippine entry Iti Mapukpukaw or The Missing failed to make the cut despite good reviews and intense campaigning. Final nominations for the Oscars will be announced on January 23, while 96th Academy Awards show will be held on March 10. And American-Filipino comedian Jokoy will host the 81st Golden Globe Awards on January 7. Organizers said they are counting on Jokoy to bring his infectious energy and relatable humor to the awards night. This is the stand-up comic's first time hosting a major award show, and he hopes this will make his Filipino family proud. Time to take a quick break. One News Now will be back with more stories after that. Stay with us. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Denise Tan. Universities in Metro Manila are celebrating the holidays with parties and lights. In case you missed it, the University of Santo Tomas just held its annual Paskuhan. Big bands and performers graced yesterday's big event. Capping off the celebration was a grand fireworks display. Before that, the University of the Philippines Diliman lit up on its yearly lantern parade. 70 lanterns paraded not only captured the Christmas spirit, but the relevance of social issues as well. There were messages on the POV modernization program and dispute in the West Philippine Sea. A supermarket industry group has assured no more price increases in holiday fares until the end of the year. Still, consumers are finding out that their budgets could only stretch as far. Here's the story.
Before going home to Cagayan Valley, Evangeline first bought large boxes of biscuits as souvenirs for her relatives. However, her initial budget of 1,000 pesos was only enough for 2 boxes of biscuits and some grocery items.
Laki ng pinagbago ng mga presyo ngayon sa dati kumpara sa dati.
Mylene also noticed that the price of all-purpose cream she usually purchases has increased since her last buy in August. With this, they had to make some adjustments to the pricing so the wallets of their customers won't bleed dry.
Konti lang naman po ang presyo pinapatong po namin kasi po mahirap naman po magtaas ka po ng price mo kasi baka wala na pong bumili. Pero hindi po masasacrifice yung lasa.
The Philippine Amalgamated Supermarkets Association has since assured that Noche Buena items won't be a burden on the pocket. They claim that the prices of these items will no longer increase until the end of the year.
This December, wala nang tumaas actually. Everybody has already prepared. Pricing is a management strategy. They've already prepared as early as probably September, October. Magkano natin ibabagsak yan come December para pantay-pantay nationwide, assuming proper ang ating distribution and assuming proper ang ordering ng mga tindahan na to.
But if you're tight on budget, the group suggests including some grocery hacks to ensure that your Christmas feast is still complete. Instead of spaghetti, they say you can use different types of noodles instead.
Malamig ang hangin, so tamang-tama, mainit na higop ng sabaw ng sotangon. Be creative, swak sa budget. Diba? Sa pangailangan, angkop sa ating pagsasama, pagtitipon-tipon during Christmas Eve.
You can also substitute the usual brand with something more affordable yet still of quality. They also suggest checking the label because sometimes it's the same company that produces but with different packaging and brand. They also recommend exploring the sales section of the grocery store, which may contain some good bargains.
Go out and look for these items, sulit na sulit, diba? Even if they're near expiration, but most of the time hindi pa near expiration yan. Meron pang 2025 mag-expire. Pero sinesale na nila.
For those looking for queso de bola and ham, don't be surprised if they're frequently available or out of stock in some grocery stores. There seems to be an issue with distribution, especially since the stores ordered just enough to coincide with the holiday season. The group also expects that shoppers will once again flock to supermarkets before the new year.
President Bongbong Marcos is inviting everyone to attend the remaining Simbang Gabi masses in Malacanang. He said there are traditional Christmas treats awaiting those who will swing by the palace. Advent masses will be held until December 24 at 4:30 in the morning in front of the Mabini Hall. At the Kalayaan Grounds, there is a Christmas-themed carnival where children and kids at heart can enjoy rides and games for free. One News Now will be back at 3:15 p.m. Join us again later. I'm Denise Tan. We are One News.